things that I can't get out of my head and just getting them out on paper. So I did a ton of journaling and writing and writing and writing. And that was very therapeutic for like traumatic experiences.
Your therapy experiences sound awful and hilarious.
They're so good when they're written down. Like I'm writing a book and they're very good for the book, but for real life, they were not ideal.
Right. Such is life. I feel like anything that's not like a fun life experience, it's like, well, I better write a book because otherwise this shit was just life. Nah.
Yeah, it's less fun that way. If I ever have something terrible happen, I'm like, oh, it's going to make a good chapter though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree though that I think writing helps tremendously. I think that's maybe even more so than DBT. I would say like journaling, you know, again, your dad's self-authoring suite, but like just any form of writing in a really complete way. I was going to say word vomity way, but considering my past, maybe not the best.
It's a nice way to describe it. Kind of though.
A little.
Yeah. That's kind of accurate.
If I'm not going to vomit, I might as well word vomit.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, good for you for like getting all that under control. I'm sure being under extreme stress as a kid, like is just going to breed that kind of behavior, right?
Yeah. You know, actually saying it now, I also think that quitting acting was hugely instrumental. Like I needed that for my mental health and I needed that for my own self-growth and my own relationship with myself. I couldn't keep, you know, literally being people that other people write and, you know, trying to just the amount of rejection that comes with acting, the amount of like wedging yourself into these roles that are other people. It's like, no, I deserve to be myself, man. Like it's been enough of being other people, enough of spending my life trying to be who my mom wants me to be in producers and record labels. And like, I'm done. And I think walking away from that, well, I mean, it was certainly the hardest thing or one of the hardest things I've ever done. The kicking the eating disorder was harder, but walking away from a career that everybody's telling everybody in my family is going, don't walk away from this. You'd be insane to walk away from this. You can't, why would you do that? Do you know how hard it is to be successful at acting? What are you thinking? And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I have to do it. And it was really hard, but it was me kind of taking a stand for myself. And I'm really glad that I did it.
Yeah, that is hard because it's like, there's so much opportunity there. It's like, how can you say, and especially if you're a driven person, and how do you say no to that? That's hard.
Yeah. And also because of the influence of everybody around. I mean, nobody was like backing up my decision to walk away. Nobody was saying like, cool, doing a thing for yourself. Good on you. Everybody was like, keep acting, be a star. They all sound like agents for some reason.
They were all my agents. Yeah. That's great. Okay. It's interesting. Let me see. I asked Instagram questions. But I didn't find, no offense to anybody who asked questions, but they didn't have that many interesting questions. So I kind of wanted to get into other things. You have a podcast, Empty Inside. How did you name that? Why did you name it that?
There actually is a song in my one woman show called Empty Inside. It's a song about my mom teaching me anorexia. And I liked that title a lot. And I thought that it was really appropriate to name it Empty Inside since I'm kind of talking about the opposite of that, which is ways to find fulfillment. And ideally through talking about like uncomfortable topics. Cause I think there's no way to get to any level of fulfillment if you're talking about surface stuff, if you're talking about just the sound bites or the press tour answers, you know, you got to get to someplace real, ideally with whoever you're talking to in order to find a connection and fulfillment.
Yeah, man, that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Right. Yeah. I really gravitated to your podcast because I was like, okay, she's doing it. She's doing the thing.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
So you managed to, okay. You said you're trying to work on your relationships, right? Are you in a relationship, like romantically?
I am. I am in a happy relationship of 4.5 years. And I actually just gifted my boyfriend's sister the self-authoring suite to bring it on back. Oh my God. Yeah. She loved it. And she's now in college. Like it motivated her to sign up for online college. She was a ballerina. She has a really interesting story. She was a ballerina and her whole company shut down, like a professional ballerina, and her whole company shut down because of COVID. And she was like, fuck, what am I going to do?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So I sent her self-authoring suite and she was like, okay, I'm going to apply what I know and sign up for some online college.
That's so cool. Yeah. If anyone listening doesn't know about it, it just kind of helps you go through your head and figure out what you want and then write steps guiding you towards that.
In the least fluffy way possible. I've read so many I certainly went through like a self-help book phase, a much regretted self-help book phase. And all of them were just like, what the they're like, keep your chin up. It's like, how is my chin up
that's
gonna
so helpful?
Right? Like how is that gonna help anything? Keeping my chin up's gonna write a book? Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Be positive.
But he makes it so that you actually have to answer hard questions for yourself. One of my fucking favorites is that he goes, what would happen if you didn't do these things? Describe the worst case scenario.
It's horrifying.
Yes.
Yeah.
But necessary. You have to see both sides of it. You can't just be pursuing goals like, I'm on my happy, like you're denying reality if you're just pretending like you're going to achieve every goal that you want by just waving your magic wand at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. And it shows my favorite part, actually, probably that part is he gets you to list out what your kind of bad habits are. And then what would happen if that's what you did? And then you see your future if you, like for mine, I did mine when I was quite a bit younger. So I was drinking a lot. So that was my major one. It was like, if you're drinking, you're hungover or you make bad decisions when you're drunk. So it gets you to look, I think it's 10 years into the future. If you continue doing your bad habits,